Hi everyone, my name is Michael Bledstein and I'm going to talk about which horror movies I got autographed. There's 6 movies I have autographed, 1 on Blu-ray, 5 on DVD, plus a poster that I got autographed. And I've met all these people. I don't do mail-ins. I don't do these deals where I ask someone to sign something for me, where I tell someone to go over to the person. I want to meet them. I want to do this myself. I drive all over parts of Southern California to get autographs, and I meet a lot of people. I have a lot of movies at home autographed and photographs. And so we'll just start in alphabetical order with my horror movies. The first one I'm going to talk about is The Exorcist. I actually bought this, not just signed, but bought the DVD from Linda Blair. She was selling them at the Hollywood show in Burbank. It was April of 2012, and she signed it Sweet Dreams Linda Blair. A year later, I met William Friedkin for a 40th anniversary of The Exorcist, which was at the Aero Theater in Santa Monica. And he signed it, and before that, I met Kitty Wynn kind of unintentionally at the TCM Film Festival at the Chinese Theater. When I met Kitty Wynn, I brought the DVD, the Blu-ray of Exorcist, not because of her, but because I wanted to meet Max von Sydow. I was in the front row of a Q&A of him and Leonard Maltin, which was really cool, except that Max von Sydow doesn't do autographs. Now, fortunately, Kitty Wynn was a special guest for a movie called Scarecrow, which was directed by someone, I forgot his name, who also directed the movie Panic in Needle Park, which featured Kitty Wynn and was also Al Pacino's first big movie. So that's why she was there. So she signed this instead. So I guess that's the best deal I can get. And I told that to William Friedkin, and he was shocked because he hasn't seen Kitty Wynn in like 40 years. And so that's my story. Next, I'm going to talk about a really cool horror movie that is certainly much more recent than The Exorcist from a couple years ago, and it's the first Insidious. I went to the Dark Delicacies bookstore in Burbank, where the cast of Insidious 2 was there, and they also signed my DVD cover of Insidious 2, but I'm going to talk about this one first. I have a photograph with me and Lynn Shay as well, who plays the older paranormal expert in the picture. And these are the cast members of the film. And that was a very interesting experience. Here's my autographs of Insidious 2. Notice in gold it says Edwina Dickinson. I met her at a different place. I met her this year in March for a premiere of a lousy Will Ferrell comedy, Get Hard. I really like Will Ferrell comedies, but that one I thought was really stupid. And so I got her to sign this as well. She plays a secretary at a hospital in this movie. Here's my ticket of Get Hard. Next, I met actor co-writer Carl Gottlieb, who's not well known. He co-wrote and co-starred in the movie Jaws, which is not exactly a horror movie, but it's very exciting. I met him at the Monsterpalooza in Burbank. The next movie I'm going to talk about is the horror movie Orphan. I met Isabelle Fuhrman, who plays Esther, the character who is the orphan that you see in this cover here. I met her at the New Beverly Cinema after a screening of the movie. She signed it, "Hi Michael, don't mess with Esther." And then on the bottom, I have a little quote that says, "Michael, kids say the darndest things," signed by David Leslie Johnson. He didn't sign his name, but he at least signed this. And I think this is a terrific horror movie. It's very suspenseful and totally against type with other evil children movies because the family already had a lot of problems and was already in much of a horror movie sense before this movie was made, and it flipped a lot of the cliches that you'd see in other horror movies, like who the girl ends up being. I've never seen that in a horror movie before. And then even before she arrives, the family is far from perfect, so it makes for a lot of interesting and scary moments and exciting scenes. The final movie I'm going to talk about is the original Saw. I met Danny Glover, Leigh Whannell, and Dina Meyer. I met Danny Glover at the Monsterpalooza in October of 2013, and not only did he sign Saw, he signed the Lethal Weapon cover, the complete series on Blu-ray, plus The Color Purple, plus Prince of Egypt, and we even filmed ourselves flapping our arms like he did in Lethal Weapon 4 when he was making noises like a bird, and that's on YouTube as well. It was really cool meeting him. I've also met Leigh Whannell. Leigh Whannell is the actor who played Adam in the movie, and he co-wrote Saw. And I met him before I owned Insidious. Dina Meyer I met recently a few months ago, and she signed the picture as well. And I think this is a very scary and exciting horror movie that's a lot of fun in repeated viewings as well as in first viewing. I stopped watching the series after part 4. It was just so disgusting. I like horror movies, but not if it's really gross like that. I don't want to see so much gore and stuff. It's really unpleasant. But this was a really good horror movie. The final thing I'm going to talk about is actually a poster. I went to the 25th anniversary of Nightmare on Elm Street 3 Dream Warriors, and the two actors there, Jennifer Rubin and Rodney Eastman, signed my poster. They were giving this out at the 25th anniversary, and I asked them to sign this. I would also later get it signed by John Saxon, who I meet for the second time at the Hollywood show in Burbank, but I've met him before at the New Beverly Cinema. Here's a photo of me and John Saxon outside the New Beverly Cinema. I was there for a lousy movie called Bay Blood or Blood Bay or something like that. And he just happened to be sitting next to me. And I wanted to take the photo inside, but it's very dark and stuff. So we took it outside. And I got to meet him a third time afterwards and at a different convention, but I didn't sign anything. So when I first met him at the New Beverly Cinema, he signed Enter the Dragon, which I have on 2-disc DVD. And I do love Wes Craven's New Nightmare, but I don't have it. I was thinking of getting it, but the reason why I'm not is because then I say to myself, well, now I have to go and try and find John Saxon again. And also Lin Shaye from the Insidious pictures was in Wes Craven's New Nightmare as well. So, yeah, I also own other horror movies that are not autographed. My favorite horror movie is Psycho. I think it's a perfect movie. I also love Silence of the Lambs, which I have. I also love The Strangers, which I thought was really scary, and The Exorcism of Emily Rose, and the original 1931 Dracula. And I do really love a recent horror, not a recent horror movie, but a horror movie that I personally saw recently, Dario Argento's Opera. So, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed my autographs, and I'll hope to hear from you soon.